Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley,
I'm Commander Kings.
and today we're going to be taking a look at some elements, or one element in particular, from the new Picard trailer from New York Comic Con. Today we're going to be talking about Data's appearance. Not his appearance. Well, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit, but his appearance in the trailer.
The appearance of Data. He was a nice surprise in the first trailer. Right at the end, you heard his voice, like, and he appears, and here's a shot of him. Actually, it's in this group of pictures. As you can see, he's wearing the Nemesis era costume, and he was talking to Picard, and the internet was aflutter about, oh my god, is this B4, which would make sense, or is cleverly played, whatever. But we said, you know what? No. Everyone, most people said Data's alive, and it's like, first Data got blowed up, real good. And B4, maybe, but it didn't quite make sense. Maybe this is a hologram of him, maybe this is a whatever. And one of the things we said could be dreams, flashback, things that are hallucinations, exactly, the guilt that Picard feels, whatnot. And so how did this trailer start, Stuart? This new one a few months later.
Start with a nice wide shot of the vineyard, and you see somebody painting with a easel, and turns out it's Data, but he's in his TNG uniform, and of course Picard approaches him also wearing his TNG uniform.
We're a little past those uniforms, guys. They're not just going to don them for the sake of it as the characters. So even if Data is alive or B4, he's probably not going to walk onto the guy's vineyard and paint in a uniform that's 50 years old or whatever.
But yeah, he's doing a painting. Looks like a woman in white. Yeah, and Picard approaches, and Data hands him the paintbrush and says, "You should finish this, Captain." Picard's like, "I don't know how," and Data's like, "You do, actually." So very symbolic. There's a lot of symbolism. That's what I was going for, actually. That thing in this, and it's ironic because in TNG, of course, we know that Data had a dream at one point, and it was about painting was involved in that as well. So it kind of ties in a little with that, and yeah, and there's a great shot also of Picard lying down in bed, which could be happen right after this. So
it's certainly the editing flow. They explicitly say in the first trailer and in interviews that Picard feels guilt about Data's death, and what a great way to bring Brent back as Data, because also you can sort of chalk the wow, he looks older as a, because it's not really him. Like, there's that line of, it's not really him. And technically speaking, Brent did say, I'll never come back as Data because I'm too old. But he never said I wouldn't come back as a Data hallucination dream. He never said that. And I joked in a previous video that, we get to see him in both uniforms now. Because each one, where you put Data in the timeline changes how Picard would see him. Painting him is definitely TNG, more innocent, more creative. The other one, imagine you're doing something else. I mean, that room is in the white room is in the android facility that we see, and maybe he's just having a cup of tea, and then Data comes to him, but he's in his just before he died uniform, because that's him reminding him, saying, this all happens when it's a good way of having different contexts. And I just think it's such a refreshing scene, even though they look quite a lot older in their uniforms. It's certainly really, really nice, and hopefully hopefully it's more than like a minute. It's not just like the quickest. This isn't just the entire set of the scene. It's the last time they're going to be in these uniforms. But it does explain why Brent was saying, "I'm in it. Often, just don't think of me as a lead, because I'm not." No, he's a guide. He's a thing that keeps speaking to him, and because of that we get these awesome moments that are abstract and yet creative. And I think it's we sort of called it. Is it better than a hologram? I mean, is this a better way, do you think?
Probably, yeah. I can see him actually having dreams about Data, and then that leads up to him actually maybe accessing the last memory files of Data as a hologram to ask his advice or something. Ooh. Maybe.
Yeah.
So it could lead into both. But I mean, yeah, if something's on your mind like that, and it is stated too by Brent that it's B4 in the drawer. So who knows? Maybe that's why Picard goes to see B4. Maybe just hopefully. I mean, we see him walking down this corridor with this lady in white, like a lab coat. could be maybe they contact him and say we've maybe found a way to unlock Data's memories from before. Maybe we can. So I don't know. There's a lot of that kind of going on, but yeah, I do like the idea of a dream sequence better than a hallucination, in my opinion, because we don't want him to be off his rocker. That's not good.
And obviously dreams are ways of the subconscious telling us things, and this painting is very, very important. And the editing is all over the place for the trailer. If you watch it implies on the vineyard for a little bit. And I think Patrick did say he's only at for maybe 1 to 2 episodes in space very quickly, but 7 and 9's already there. I think she comes in episode 3 and maybe goes back to it. Maybe there's all these things, but maybe is this Daj saying you need to, this is the person you have to help, or is this someone from the attack of whatever? I mean, it's a very abstract thing, but it's telling Picard, he's telling himself. Picard was always the best of them, Data's always the best of them in a sense, and so who better to tell him, sir, you have to go help this person. Here's a very poor painting that you can't see because I abstract and dream and foggy. Ooh. Because in dreams you can't necessarily see what you need to see. It's like, well, just show me the damn thing I need to see. It's like, nope, we're a dream. Not that easy.
It's not how it works, man. Read the manual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it is good seeing Data and Picard back in the uniforms. It was kind of a surprise for me when I first saw that. I thought that was very cool. Very cool. I'm happy to see that. I just wish Data, they should do something with his face. He just doesn't look like Data. I mean, he doesn't even look like Brent, really. When you see the actor without the makeup, he seems more like Data than this does almost. This is too kind of smoothed over. I don't know. And it just doesn't feel right.
If you look at the comparison if you look at the pictures, I mean, the first trailer version of him and the second trailer look different. Mm-hmm. The way his face is done. He has the podgy cheeks in the original trailer, not so much in this one. My assumption is that they were testing the water, because the fact is the makeup, it's makeup, so therefore it goes into wrinkles, and if you're acting, they stretch. You can't remove all that. It doesn't work. Now the digital de-aging has got to come a long way, and this is an incredibly expensive, high-budget TV show. It's the most expensive Trek ever made. So therefore they could afford if they needed to, especially with only a few scenes. But that sort of process takes so long. It's a frame-by-frame meticulous process. My guess is that if they're doing it, I mean, we saw previs in the first trailer, stuff that's incomplete, and we'll do a comparison on that later, is that if we see a cleaned up Data, it'll be only in the final episodes, because then they've got him done. That's why we're seeing very much raw off-camera Data with maybe some smoothing around it, like general rotoscope smoothing of the face, but not actually truly done. It would certainly be nice, especially if we see these TNG Datas is a much more smoothed, cleverly done, and then the B4 version, the hologram, is a much older looking Data. Not how we saw him in the first trailer, but that would be a good distinction, so that he gets to play alternate versions. But yeah. There we go. We know it's now a dream, so we're not getting real Data back, but we are still getting Brent as Data. And for me, that is just as exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, guys, tell us what you think of seeing Data in this trailer. Were you disappointed by the way it looked? Did it excite you? What's it like seeing him back in the uniform? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click notify so you get notified of all. There's a lot to break down with these trailers, and we're going to have a lot of videos about it, plus lives talking about it. So if you want to get notified of all that, make sure you click that notification icon so you don't miss any good content.
Yeah, you should be here looking at multiple bits of content. We make it just for you, so please do watch. And if you want to support what we do and what we want to do, because that's important, Patreon's a great way. It's a monthly service, kind of like Netflix or Hulu. You give a little bit, or join the lives. They're really, really good. We do these short videos. Then the lives, we're trying to do them every day this week, and we love that live bouncing with you guys. You can give super chats to control the conversation and to give us fun ideas.
So we hope to see you there. Don't let us down. And until then, I'm Captain Foley.
I am Connor Coggins.
See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.